Okay, all right, so we are live. So let's get back to business. And our business, of course, is sentence structure. Miss Zaina, I want to talk to you after class, if you don't mind. I have a few words with you, if you don't mind, after class. Okay. All right, so let's get back down to business here. Yesterday we were going over the fragmented sentence, or we also decided to call it the fragmented clause. And we understood that in order to have a proper clause, that we need both a subject and a verb, because that matches the definition of the clause. So subject-verb relationship was absolutely necessary for the proper sentence. Outside of that, there would be a fragment. Today, we go over major error that we find with sentence structure. That is the run-on sentence and its friend, Splice. And the reason why you will on these two discussed together is because they are really closely related in identifying them. So it only makes sense to do together at the same time. It helps to understand itself. For sure, this isn't the error that you are tested on the essay. So once again, we are facing that we must know, thus we must take the journey to get that information. Oh, you've been studying, and I've been saying this the past couple of days that each day is building on the other. So if you have been absent, then you're going to be lost. You're going to be lost right now. Going over, because before we could talk about the errors, we had to discuss sentence structure. We had to make sure that you got a few terms related. It should be a really easy lesson for you. The length of a run-on sentence, it doesn't matter how long it is. It can be some super, gorilla 50,000 word sentence. It doesn't matter how long the sentence is. Just because it's long doesn't mean that it is a run-on sentence. The length of the sentence does not determine whether or not sentence is a run-on sentence. It could be a short run-on sentence or a super long run-on sentence. The thing that determines whether or not it is a run-on sentence is if, in fact, you properly now going back when we talk about the difference between compound and compound complex are sentences that can be clauses. When you do not connect those clauses properly, this is result of sentence. So let's look at this a little closer here. Now, a run-on sentence and how you can correct it. Now, here are the ways that you can correct a run-on sentence. Really important information. Now, you got various ways that you can correct, various choices here. And this is why it's really easy to do on the run-ons, because in the answer choices, you can have multiple ways that the sentence is corrected, and you can also throw error in even the answer choices to make things, mix things up a little bit. So in other words, there is not one way to correct a run-on sentence. There are many ways you can correct it, but it entails that failure with all the terms and concepts of sentence structure before you can apply the multiple ways. And they are making them two simple sentences. If it is a clause with two or only two, a sentence with two clauses. You can add one of the wonderful conjunctions, obviously. If you're connecting independent clauses, you can connect them by using coordinating conjunction, one of the various punctuation marks that we discussed. We discussed 3, only 2 are mentioned here. I'm sorry, we just none of them are mentioned here, actually. Don't forget about the 3 punctuation marks. Of course, the conjunctive adverb, and it must have a semicolon and a comma after it, or you can connect it by making one of the clauses dependent. And the way we do that is, how do we make a dependent clause, Miss Angie? Yeah, how do we make, if we got 2 clauses in sentence and we want to make one of them dependent, how do we do that? We talked about that last week and yesterday. Have to put the information in a sentence. Now listen to my question now. It's a simple question. I don't want you to feel like it's complicated. Here's the question. We got 2 clauses. We got a run-on sentence. We got 2 clauses. We want to make one of the clauses dependent. How do we do that? Put a helping verb. You sure about that, Miss Angie? Miss Zany, you agree with that? We make a dependent clause by adding a helping verb. Well, how do we make a dependent clause? Add a comma. Mr. Salah. How do we make a dependent clause? We got a run-on sentence. We got 2 clauses. We need to correct the run-on sentence, and we're going to do that by making one of the clauses dependent. How would we do that? Because this information is not specific to what we're talking about today. The question I'm asking is not specific to what we're talking about today. It actually is requiring you to remember what we talked about previous days. And you studied, so you know. So the question I'm asking you is simple. How do we make a dependent clause? What makes a clause dependent? Mahmoud, what makes a clause dependent? Nada? How do we make a dependent clause? Anybody? The subordinating conjunction. Whenever we put a subordinating conjunction at the beginning of a clause, we make that clause dependent. We have 2 independent clauses. They aren't connected by anything. Run-on sentence. One of the ways we can correct the run-on sentence is making one of the clauses dependent. And we know from what we studied last week that in order to make an independent clause dependent, we simply add a subordinating conjunction to the beginning of the clause. And I gave you a nice chart with 4 categories of subordinating conjunctions you were supposed to study. Okay, let's move on. Let us move on. Let's conjunctive adverbs. Here's a longer list of conjunctive adverbs. We only looked at a few. Anyway, that's not our issue right now because you already know about conjunctive adverbs. Let's do a little practice here. Here is the sentence, Miss Nada. You're going to read this sentence while everybody else is writing it down so they can study tonight. Or you want to read it together? I make it easy. Let's read it together. Here we go. She was not able to admit she was an alcoholic. In fact, she did not even think she had a problem. Yes. So we got somebody here in this sentence who got an it's like people who have addiction to drugs, right? It's good to be addicted to drugs, right, Miss Nada? No, it's not. Drugs are for losers, right? Anybody who does drugs is a loser, right? Yes, right? Well, yeah, like you're not sure. Are you sure they're not a loser? What? Huh? You sure they losers? Okay, all right, let's make sure. All right, okay, so here it is. Miss Nada, is this sentence okay? I know everybody's still writing the sentence down. Continue writing the sentence down. Is the sentence okay, Ms. Nada? It is. It's okay. So Nada said the sentence is perfecto. What a sentence should be matches the definition of the sentence, and everything's good. Clauses. How many clauses we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many? There's not how many clauses we got in that sentence. 2 clauses, and everything's good with those 2 clauses. So everything's good. We can move on. Anyone disagree, or we can keep moving? Anyone disagree? It's all good. Everybody agrees with Miss Nada. Yes? Raise your hand if you agree with Miss Nada. Redundancy and repetition. Redundancy. The problem with redundancy and repetition is that it's outside of the realm of sentence structure. If we were just looking at the sentence, thinking of sentence structure, do you agree with Ms. Nada? Okay, so you disagree, Mahmoud. You was looking like you weren't sure which. You know now? You agree or disagree? Huh? Agree. So everybody agrees. Omar's not sure. Okay, so let's see. Let's look up here. Everybody look up here. Let's see. It's a fused sentence, also known as a run-on sentence. So there's a problem. There's something wrong. Let's look at what we wrote from the previous slide about how to correct a run-on sentence. Now let's look at this sentence again. I want everyone in here to correct this sentence. I want everybody to correct it based on what we talked about in the previous slide. Well, okay, slow on. Give everybody a chance to do it first, to test their own knowledge. Look back at what you just wrote. I'm telling you, this is a run-on sentence. I want everyone to correct it, including you, Mr. Khalid. Unfold your arms, place a pen in one of those hands, write that sentence that's here, and correct it based on what we discussed in the previous slide, sir. Now, okay, give me one more minute to correct it. To correct the mundo sentence. I guess it's a long sentence. I can get 2 more minutes. How about that? I'm so generous. Okay, I know Omar he's itching to do this. Is there anyone else? Nobody else? Okay, all right. Look at what you did. Listen to Mr. Omar. See if it's the same. Go ahead, Mr. Omar. Fanboys. Read it with the fanboys. Read the sentence with the fanboys. Who agrees with Mr. Omar? You agree? Anyone disagree? Come on, Ms. Nada, I can see that you disagree. Just go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us what you disagree on. Huh? Oh, you agree. Oh, okay, you were looking like I don't want to say it, but maybe. Okay. I 100% disagree with Mr. Omar. Why do I disagree? Come on, this is an easy one. It's too easy. I hate to go ahead and just show you. I know you're just sitting there waiting for me to show you, but I hate to show you something that's so easy. I feel bad, you'll feel bad. We'll both be depressed for the whole day. Come on, Miss Angie. Tell me why I disagree. Yeah, I know that. But I'm telling you to tell me why I disagree. Guess. That's what I want you to do. I know you can't read my mind. You got them special X-Man powers, but or X-woman. Do they call the X-Men X-women too? They just call them X-Men, even though they women. That's weird. I was wondering. Okay, all right. So we'll call them X-women. How about that? You got the X-women power. I know you don't have the X-women power to read my mind, but I want you to guess. Why do I disagree? All right, let me go ahead. Okay, I'm gonna show you. I got no other choice now, right? Show you? No? Want to know? Don't want to know? Want to try? To guess? We ain't got all day. Let's keep going. In fact, it's a conjunctive adverb. I just showed you that list. In fact, it's a conjunctive adverb. So we need a semicolon and a comma. Semicolon and a comma. So the only thing that was actually missing here was the punctuation. And I want to make a really good point about this, Miss Angie. It's really important. Punctuation marks are extremely important on the SAT now. Extremely important. So you might think comma ain't that big of a deal. Not putting the semicolon, not that big of a deal. It's a really big deal for you now. So you have to be aware of the punctuation marks. In this case, the punctuation marks as they relate to the conjunctive adverb, because you must have a semicolon before and a comma after, in fact, is a conjunctive adverb. We got that? Everybody got that? Let's got. So the way we corrected this run-on sentence was simply adding the punctuation marks that weren't there. All right, so let's look again here. We know what a clause is. I hope everybody in here is clear on that. Everybody in here clear on what the clause is, okay? Yes? If there's one thing you studied for the past week and a half, it's the definition of the clause. I mean, I'm just going to think. I hope that's not the only thing, but practice time. Miss Nada, this is your sentence. Wait a minute. Yes, it was your sentence last time, wasn't it? Omar Salah, it's your sentence here. Let's read it together. Everybody's writing it, including you, Mr. Khaled. Unfold your arms and put a pen in it. Oh, I'm reading it with you. At first, my Japanese was very poor and communication was slow. But with practice, my Japanese improved rapidly. No, I don't know why he's changing seat. I don't know why he decided to sit there and no. I know that's okay. It's called togetherness. It's called togetherness. You feel warm. I don't know why you got your t-shirt like that, but you feel warm now because it get a little cold in here. But all right, here we go. Omar Salah, affairs. Everybody's writing this sentence down. Nudge your classmate next to you and encourage him to write the sentence down too. His name is Khalid. Okay, Omar. Did you write it? Come on, go, Omar. It's your question. You're supposed to be the first one. Finish writing it down. All right, so I'm gonna put my hands in my pocket and wait for you to, Huh? Okay, slow. Rewrite it with the correction, and then I'm gonna come to you, but I at least want you to make sure you rewrite it. Ms. Angie, this is not group work. In fact, Angie, Angie, come sit right here. Yes, come sit over here. And I want you to, get the full effect. And Ms. Nada, I want you to move over one. Yes. So I broke up the little party. No more party time. All right, so now we can focus here. All right. Did you rewrite it? Come on. Okay, Omar, we got time for you to decide. Everybody else rewrote it. So now we're waiting on you. Go ahead. Read it with the correction and tell us. No, first off, is it okay? Is the sentence, Omar, is the sentence okay? Is it correct the way it is? I'm not saying that is wrong. I'm just asking. It's correct. So Omar says correct. So no need to correct it if it's already correct. Everybody agrees. Huh? Whoa. So go ahead, Ms. Nada. You said put a comma. Where? What? Put what? Before but? Before but and before and. So you just want to put comma everywhere. Okay. So put one before but and one before and. You agree with that, Ms. Amy? And you, that's what you were going to say too, right? One before but and one before and. Huh? One before but only. You agree with that, Mr. Fitz? Okay, so you're going to go with Ms. Nada. Those who are with Ms. Nada, raise your hand. 1, 2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we got, that's your friend. Okay, those who are, I forgot what you said. What did you say? Those who are with Mr. Omar, raise your hand. Yusuf, with Omar, that's it. One. You got one person with you, Omar. But, it don't matter. Even if you trying to do the right thing and you got one person, like everybody wants to smoke drugs, except you and somebody else, right? And y'all walk away, even if it's only that two and everybody else doing it, it don't mean that it means that they're wrong and you right. All the ways. That's how you gotta look at it. You gotta be yourself. I agree with the two who decided to walk away from the group that was doing drugs. The but is a coordinated conjunction here because it's connected to independent clauses. Let's look at the two independent clauses. At first, my Japanese was very poor and communication was slow. Why not? I need you to understand. Why not a comma before the first and? Because that and is only connecting two predicates. We have a compound predicate here. Was very poor and was slow. That's just the compound predicate. There's no subject going with the second predicate there. Okay, but we start another clause. With practice, my Japanese improved rapidly. Improved being the verb here. We got the subject there, and of course that is a clause. So we need a comma before that but. Coordinated conjunction. One of the fanboys. Everybody got that? Everybody look. Go ahead and, everybody wrote it, circle it, underline it, point to it, right there. These are your notes. I don't know how you're doing your notes, but make your notes nice so when you study them tonight, because that's what you're going to do, right? Miss Angie, you're going to study them tonight. Yes? All right. So we'll be more aware of what's going on. Okay, there it is. Let's continue. More practice. Khalid, you ready? For me to ask Mr. Yusuf. Okay, Mr. Yusuf, you ready? All right, here we go. I gave you the biggest sentence ever. Everybody's writing it down. Yusuf is going to analyze it. He's going to tell us whether or not the sentence is correct, Mundo. And if it's not, he's going to correct it using one of the various ways we discussed that you can correct a run-on sentence. That's if it's, I'm not saying it's incorrect, I'm saying if you decide that's incorrect. I'm neutral, you know what I'm saying? It could be, could not be, I don't know. I mean, I know, but I'm not saying. Huh? No. Everybody, it's not a big sentence. Did everybody write it down? Did you write it down? You write, okay. Let Yusuf get it. This is Yusuf's sentence. Thank you for coming, finally. Wow, I appreciate that. Traffic, always traffic, right? Oh, yeah. It's only traffic when you're in a hurry, right? I get you. Yusuf, speak. You agree? This sentence is correct? Okay, it's correct. Then let's talk about it. All right. Everybody agree? No? You don't agree? Miss Nada, why you don't agree? Huh? You know. I mean, Angie, I got you. I mean, I get my own children mixed up every day. I'm sorry, go ahead. Comma before and. Comma before and. You sure about that? Huh? Positive. Think about it, Miss Angie. What did you think? Comma before and? Yes, you're 100% sure. Come on, Miss Angie, be decisive. Comma before and? Anybody? Shh. Anybody saying? Write down the sentence while you're here. You write it down while you're here. You partying us. We're talking about run-on sentences. I just said, I'm just want Angie to be 100% sure. So just relax a minute. Go ahead, Miss Angie. You sure? Comma before and? Come on, Angie, be decisive. Yes. You sure about that? Look, don't let anybody try to change your mind. See, when somebody comes to you with some drugs and you know you shouldn't do it, but they say, ain't nothing wrong. Just one time, just a little bit. Just don't worry about it. It'll be okay. And you don't be like, well, maybe. No. You're like, no, you ain't got to think about it no more. Put your hands down. Miss Angie is correct. She was the comma before and. Yes, it is a fused sentence or run-on sentence because we got two independent clauses. They're really short, but they're still independent. I hit him as the first clause. He bled as the second clause. We know we can't connect them with just the and. We need and a comma. Okay, here we go. I agree. Correctamundo. Be decisive. Mr. Omar. Mr. Omar. Now we're going to be talking about a new concept. No, it's not actually new. They are connected together. The comma splice and the run-on sentence are very familiar with each other. Why? Because if we take a look, and of course, a comma splice occurs when you try to connect two independent clauses with just a comma, okay? Two independent clauses with just a comma. Because we already know we can connect our part of the connection of a dependent clause and an independent clause when the dependent clause comes first is a comma. We're not talking about that. We're talking about two independent. Mr. Collins, I just know you ain't sleeping in my class. Are you serious? It's a bad dream. It's like I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do today, and I had this dream last night, and in the dream there was a student sleeping in the class. You just this is a joke, right? You're just playing because you knew I was gonna react like that. Okay, okay, that was funny, but can we get serious here? Ain't no playing, ain't no sleeping in here. This ain't Mr. Quick's sleep time. Mr. Quick so boring, I'm gonna take a snooze for a little while, class. No. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, we're not talking about the comma we use when we do complex sentences. Why? Because that's a dependent clause and an independent clause. We're talking about trying to slip a comma between two independent clauses. That's a no. We can't do that. No, we have okay. All right, so here we go. Ready? Here are the ways that you can correct it. And here are the ways you can correct the comma splice. It looks exactly the same as correcting the run-on sentence. I'm saying that because you don't have to write it twice, because you already wrote this. It's the same. The ways that you correct the ways that you correct a comma splice in the same ways that you can. What is this? It's a bad dream. All right. Somebody's mind on. I don't know where it comes from. I feel like it's coming from downstairs though, because I feel it under my feet. Anyway, The exact same way that you correct a comma splice is the same way that you can correct a run-on sentence. This is why they are usually discussed together. This is why the two concepts are usually discussed together. Okay, try not to pay attention to the banging on the wall. All right, okay, here we go. All right. Don't write it again, please. Let's just continue. Conjunctive adverbs. Conjunctive adverbs. I know we saw it just a little while ago, but I just want to show you this list again. Let your eyes run across it, because when we first talked about conjunctive and independent clauses, we looked at a very small list. I told you there's a longer list, and I encouraged you to go online to go over the longer list, because there's nothing that says that the SAT can only use a list of 5 conjunctive adverbs, and they can't use any of the other ones. That's not, no. You have to familiarize yourself with conjunctive adverbs, as many as you can, so you'll be ready for whatever they throw at you, and they will throw at you anything. And we already know that. Well, some of us here know that. Okay, so here's the comma splice. Let's look at wonderful sentence. Can you read it? I know it's in green. Can you see it, Omar? Oh, okay, good. You can see it. Write it down. Write it down. I know it's dark. If you could. Write the sentence down. Yes, thank you. All right. I would write it down for you, but I kind of already did. Who wants this sentence? Let's see. Who have we yet to call on? Omar Abdulaziz. Right? Omar. It's time. Okay? This is your shot. This is your shot. You know, they say everybody get fame, right? This is your shot. Make it happen. I'm gonna give you a shot now. All right, Omar, this is your sentence. This all I want to know is really simple. Is the sentence correct? Is the structure of the sentence sound? Can we call it a sentence based on what we've discussed? Make a decision, yes or no. Yes or no. Yes or no, is it correct? That's all I'm asking. Come on, Omar, you can do it. Yes. It's correct. Everybody don't agree? Who disagrees? You disagree, Sam? You disagree? You don't disagree. You agree with Omar. Omar, you agree with Omar. Omar, you agree with Omar. You don't agree with Omar. Okay, Omar doesn't agree with Omar. Omar, you agree with Omar that agrees with Omar? Okay. So you agree with Omar? You just say, I say, Omar, do you agree with Omar? I agree with Omar. You say no. All right. But you don't agree with Omar, right? Don't worry about it. Think about it later. Okay. Okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. We'll discuss it later, some other time. All right. Mr. Ferris. Okay. Put a but after the comma? But we got a comma here. Don't we connect, right, Ms. Nada? We can connect 2 clauses with a comma, yes? It's in red. You can't see down. I don't think you can see it because go, Ms. Nada. We can connect 2 clauses with a comma, right? So we can leave it like it is. Before what? Listen. Before what? Before what? Hello. Before what? Before a word? Before for. Oh, she want to do for instead of but. But y'all saying the same thing, so I had to agree. They got it. I had the idea. Oh, I know, because it's in red. That's why I was asking at the beginning. Could you see it? Okay, so they saw it. This is why they got it. Yes, no. You can't just put a comma in between those two independent clauses. We need a comma for. Okay, or a comma but. Okay, I think but would probably be better here. But the point is, Ms. Nada got the concept. Let's move on. So here we go. Freeing. Let's free the trapped sentences. They are trapped because they're not free. You can't see that.
I can see
everything. I tell you what. Let's just skip this. Let's skip this one.
You can see the green.
Okay, so let's skip all that. Let's get the one we got. Wait a minute. Write it down anyway. There's no one going to break it down for us. One that we can see. Okay, so I got a question. Now, here's the question. I want you to think about the question I'm going to ask. What type of sentence error, what sentence structure error in this sentence? I got to mix it up a little bit because I know some of you saw the words at the bottom, and I got to mix the question up a little bit. That's the question. I need to know what type of sentence structure error do we have in this sentence? What? You say fragment. Anybody else? Even though we talking about run-on sentences, but that's okay. We talked about fragment yesterday. Omar, what type of error do you think we have here? You say fragment. That's interesting. We talked about that yesterday. Ms. Angie, what sentence structure error do you think? Take a guess. Just take a quick guess. Just take a guess. Mahmoud. Okay, hold that, Mahmoud. Omar and Nada says fragment. Let's take a look. You don't agree. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Complex. Complex. Okay. Oh, I get what you're saying. No, we didn't discuss complex sentence errors. We discussed run-on and fragment. And I'm saying that this could be either or. Even though we discussed it yesterday, that's okay. Still applies here. So Ms. Nada and Mr. Omar says fragment. You sure? 100% Ms. Nada. You don't want to change your answer? Not at all. You want to change your answer? No? No? Omar, you want to change your answer? Sure? Okay. All right. So here it is. It's a comma splice and a fused sentence. Why both? Take a guess. Take a guess. Why both? Why would it say both? Let's look at it. It was time consuming. But, and here's the comma but. I know that's what you were going to say, comma but. Yes? And what? And dot before we. I'll get what you're saying. And dot before we. Let's look at the clause. How many clauses we got here? That's the big question. How many clauses we got in this sentence? Because you had to see the clauses in order to make that determination. You say 4. You say 3. Everyone agree with 3? Let's look at it. It was time consuming. That's 1. But they didn't seem to matter. That's 2. We started to enjoy the rides. That's 3. And it brought us closer together. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we got 4 clauses here, and we only have 1 proper conjunction, and that's not going to work because obviously if we have 4 independent clauses here, we're probably going to need at least 2 or more ways to join them together. In this case, or in this example here, we simply made it 2, 1 sentence, 2, another sentence. You see that? You see that? Yeah. You see that, Miss Angel? Yes, everybody see that? Everybody see that? Everybody see that? We go. All right, so let's move on here. More fun. I think we got everybody. Colleague, we gotta get you. I mean, you are the last one. I was gonna say the last of the Mohican, but you never read that book. So. I mean, I'm not assuming that you didn't read that book, but here it is. You ready? Colin, you ready? This is you. Everybody else did it. Now we just focused on you. You ready? Did a sentence. Everybody's gonna write it down, but I need for you to write it down, and you're gonna tell me whether it is correct or not. What? Come on. Because I think we got to get that. Yeah. Okay, so this is college sentence. What? What'd you say? I didn't hear you, Colin. Did you read it? Okay, so Colin says, I don't even want to try this one. I don't know. So I guess we have to move on to someone else. Miss Zayna, I don't remember you doing this sentence, now that I think about it. So I get this is Miss Zayna's sentence. Miss Zayna, just hold tight. I get. If Miss Zayna can't answer the question, I'm coming to Mr. Omar. Okay, so there it is. So my first question is, of course, what type of error? What type of sentence structure error? That's my first question. If you say it's correct, if you say it's correct, then we can just move on. Is it correct? Okay, go ahead. Because if you say it's correct, then my other questions matter not. Let's give her a chance. Let her do it. It's not correct. Okay. All right. So now I can move to my next question. What type or which type of sentence error is contained in this sentence? That's the big question. Let me get it. Let me answer the question first. Go ahead, Miss Zane. Then you tell us what we got to guess. You tell us. Well, you got to give us some more names. The other what? You got to tell us use some terminologies that you learned. You're saying it's a fused sentence, okay? Or also known as a run-on sentence, yes? Okay, so now we can move. I'm just curious what Omar got to say. I'm sorry, Omar. I'm just really curious what Omar got to say. Okay, Omar, she already said it's not correct. She already said it's a run-on. So, my question now is how we fix it. Have to put what? Four. Okay. Are you raising your hand because you disagree with what he said? All right. So okay. So I'm gonna come back. I gotta come at me when I come back. Only one person. I saw somebody. Okay, let me get Omar. I mean, yeah, this is Omar. Before which? Huh? Before which? Oh, I get what you're saying. I'm like, which? I'm like, my husband. Okay, so put a comma before which. You still got your hand up, Stairs. What's going on? Yeah, go ahead. That's what I'm trying to do. Listen, go ahead. Put because after the comma. Okay. Leave the comma there, just put because. Yes? All right. So, yeah, some of your teeth. Who did that? Okay. Leave the comma, put a because. So let me read it. I'm going to read it with, I tell you what, with everybody's correction. So let's read it. The program uses no tax dollars, comma, because it is a private program, comma, which follows the new directions for space. Oh, I'm fine. I missed the comma. Which follows the new direction, comma, for space development. Now, I'm including everybody's. Okay, set by the president. Okay, now look, that sounded like too many commas. I need one person to be decisive, to correct the sentence once and for all, to never be corrected again. One person. Ms. Nada. Remove the comma, okay. Put a comma before which. Okay, so the program uses no tax dollars. It is a private program, comma, which follows the new, like that. Sounds better? Yeah. Everyone agrees? Everybody agrees? Who disagrees? Okay, you disagree again. You're going to just give us one shot, read it once, and tell us what the sentence should be. Go ahead. Read it with your correction. Anybody disagree with that? He said, because between dollars and it, a comma after which, comma before which only. All right, so now let's see. Okay, so we got a comma splice. That's for sure. Everybody saw. Everybody's raise your hand if you saw the comma splice. Okay, so everybody raise your hand if you saw the comma splice. Really? Only 3 people saw the comma splice. Injured. You didn't see the comma splice? You didn't see the comma splice? Oh, come on. You raised it. You saw the comma splice. Okay, here we go. Here is a correction. Not saying the correction, and that's the only one. But here is a way to correct it, and let's do it like that. Who disagrees with that correction? Raise your hand if you disagree. Okay, let me ask it like this. Who feels uncomfortable with that correction? Okay, Omar, what makes you feel uncomfortable with that correction? Is there something awkward about it? Is it the comma before which? Or is it something else? Yes? You feel uncomfortable with it? Okay, but like I said, there is more than one way to correct this. The way that I think you said it would be because that's another way to correct it. So it's not only, there's never one way to correct the sentence. If there was only one way to correct the sentence, there would be no need to be tested on it. I mean, there'll be, with a multiple choice test, it would be useless. Okay, here it is. I need you to write this down. Comma splice run-on sentence occur when the sentences are incorrectly when they're joined together, usually with a comma and or nothing. And here we go. Sentence, comma, sentence. This is basically the scientific breakdown. These last two here of what we've talked about the entire lesson. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so that pretty much concludes our amazing journey to discover the run-ons and the comma splices. And as